Google Ads says you got 50 phone call conversions last month, but your client's phone call logs show only 20 actual calls. That gap is not a glitch, and it's not a reporting delay. It's a source problem, and smart bidding is learning from the wrong number right now. Not all call conversion actions work the same way in Google Ads. Some track real calls, and some they just fire on a click. Your call asset with dynamic call forwarding uses a Google forwarding number and only counts calls that meet a minimum duration. That's a real filter, and it's a real call. With call reporting turned on, the location asset actually fires two conversion actions at the same time. Calls from ads, which uses a forwarding number and only counts calls that hit your minimum duration, but it also fires clicks to call on every tap or click, no duration check. And that one is locked as primary by default. So you're getting both, and the click-based one is feeding smart bidding. That's where the 50 call conversions came from. The 20 are the calls that actually connected. Your instinct at this point is probably to demote this conversion action from primary to secondary. So, it stops feeding the smart bidding. Reasonable instinct. The problem is, Google won't let you do that. Google locks location asset call conversions as primary. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Now, so long as you don't have any other conversions you're using in this conversion category, which is the contact conversion category, you can just make sure your campaign targets specific conversion categories instead of account-wide goals here in your campaign settings. This effectively makes clicks to call a secondary conversion for that campaign. And while you're at it, do the same for calls from ads. Even though that conversion has a duration filter, a 60-second call doesn't tell you whether it was a qualified lead. Make that secondary too. Offline imports will be your only primary call signal. You do this by using a tool like WhatConverts or CallRails and setting up a specific phone number for the Google Ads location asset. So where do you actually add this phone number? Is it in Google Ads? Actually, no. It's in your Google Business Profile settings under the Advanced settings. You simply click these three dots on your Google Business Profile, and you're going to go into Business Profile Settings, and then click on Advanced Settings. And this is where you add the phone number for your Google Ad location asset. Now you and your client can grade calls coming in from the location asset. Which ones were actual leads, and of course, which ones were junk. Which ones resulted in a booked appointment or job. You take just the qualified calls and push them back into Google Ads as offline conversions tied to the original phone number. Now, instead of 50 click-to calls, smart bidding is learning from the 20 or however many calls that actually led somewhere. The optimization loop is based on real outcomes, not click behavior. This change compounds over time. The account gets better at finding people who call and actually book, not people who tap or click on phone numbers on their phone and then hang up. The account that reports 50 call conversions and the account that reports 20 real calls are running on different realities. One is scaling toward a number. The other is scaling toward an outcome. If you want to make sure you have all of your offline conversion tracking set up properly, I put together the OCT Setup Checklist that walks you through everything. And of course, you can grab it free over at Freak.Marketing.